Is this the Falcons' desperate scramble for survival or a stealthy masterstroke to protect their future? Just days before the roar of the crowd fills Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the season opener, the Atlanta Falcons have made a move that has sent shockwaves through the fan base, a last-minute scramble that screams either brilliant foresight or sheer unadulterated panic. We're talking about a trade, folks, one that landed offensive tackle Michael Jerrell from the Seattle Seahawks for a conditional 2027 seventh-round pick. On the surface, it might seem like a minor transaction, a footnote in the grand scheme of an NFL offseason. But when you peel back the layers, this move tells a much deeper, more urgent story about the state of the Falcons' offensive line and the desperate measures being taken to protect their most valuable asset, their new starting quarterback, Michael Penix Jr. The question isn't just about Michael Jerrell, it's about what this trade signifies. Are the Falcons patching a gaping wound on their offensive line with a quick fix solution, or have they just secured a hidden gem who will solidify the trenches for years to come? The answer, as always, lies somewhere in the murky waters of NFL uncertainty, but one thing is clear. This move was born out of necessity, a direct response to a crisis that has suddenly engulfed Flowery Branch. Let's not mince words here. The Falcons' offensive line, particularly at the crucial right tackle position, has been hit by an injury bug of epic proportions. It started subtly, a whisper in the wind during training camp, but it has now escalated into a full-blown emergency. The most devastating blow came with the news that our starting right tackle, Kaleb McGary, suffered a leg injury during the final training camp practice. This wasn't just a minor setback, this was a season-ending injury. McGary, a stalwart of our offensive line for years, was placed on injured reserve and will miss an entire season for the first time in his 6-year career. Just like that, a cornerstone of our protection scheme was gone, leaving a gaping hole that needed to be filled immediately. And if losing your starter wasn't enough, the football gods decided to twist the knife a little further. McGary's primary backup, Storm Norton, has also been sidelined for the majority of training camp, with what head coach Raheem Morris initially described as a lower body injury. The full extent of Norton's injury became clear later, with reports indicating a significant ankle injury that is expected to keep him out for 6 to 8 weeks. The Falcons, in a glimmer of hope, placed Norton on injured reserve with the designation to return, meaning he could potentially be back after a minimum of 4 games. But for week 1, and for the foreseeable future, he's unavailable. So, just like that, the Falcons went from having a clear plan at right tackle to having absolutely no one. Your starter is out for the season, and his immediate backup is out for at least a month, possibly 2. This isn't just bad luck. This is a full-blown catastrophe for an offensive line that needs to be cohesive and dominant to allow Michael Penix Jr. to thrive in his rookie season. The pressure to protect the quarterback, especially a young one, is paramount, and without a reliable right tackle, that pressure intensifies exponentially. Enter Michael Jerrell. The Falcons, facing an immediate and critical need, scoured the league and found their man in Seattle. Jerrell was a 6th-round pick by the Seahawks in the 2024 NFL Draft, a rookie with a surprising amount of experience for a late-round selection. He appeared in 10 games for Seattle as a freshman, making 3 starts, including his first career start in Week 7 against none other than the Atlanta Falcons themselves. Talk about coming full circle. In total, he logged 250 offensive snaps, which accounted for a respectable 39% of the units total during those games. According to Pro Football Focus, all but 5 of those snaps came at right tackle, his natural position. He allowed 3 sacks during that time, a statistic that provides a glimpse into his performance, but also highlights the immediate challenge he faces. The acquisition cost for Jerrell was a conditional 2027 7th-round draft pick. In the grand scheme of NFL trades, this is a relatively low price to pay. A conditional 7th-rounder 3 years down the line is essentially a lottery ticket. This suggests that while the Falcons clearly see potential in Jerrell, they also weren't willing to break the bank for a player who, despite his rookie experience, is still largely unproven. It's a calculated risk, a move designed to address an immediate and glaring need without mortgaging too much of the team's future. The Seahawks, on the other hand, likely saw an opportunity to recoup some draft capital for a player who might have been on the bubble for their own roster, especially with their offensive line depth. But what does this mean for the rest of the Falcons' offensive line and the players who were already on the roster? Before the Jerrell trade, the Falcons had Elijah Wilkinson filling in for McGarry during 11-on-11 drills in the final training camp practice. However, Wilkinson was held out of the third preseason game as a precautionary measure, a sign of the growing injury concerns. In that final preseason outing, rookie Jack Nelson and veteran free agent signing Brandon Parker took the majority of the snaps at tackle. While both have shown flashes, neither has truly established themselves as a reliable, every-down NFL starter, especially not against the caliber of defensive linemen they'll face in the NFC South. The addition of Jerrell brings the Falcons' offensive line roster to 9 players, a healthy number, but it also signifies the team's clear belief that their internal options weren't quite ready to step into the starting right tackle role for Week 1. This isn't a slight against Wilkinson, Nelson, or Parker, but rather an acknowledgement of the immense pressure that comes with protecting a franchise quarterback, particularly one making his NFL debut. The offensive line is the engine of any successful offense, and continuity, chemistry, and reliability are paramount. Throwing an unproven player into the fire is always a gamble, but the Falcons clearly believe Jerrell offers the best immediate solution. The urgency of this move cannot be overstated. With the Tampa Bay Buccaneers looming on Sunday, the Falcons needed to find a starting caliber right tackle, and they needed to find him yesterday. The Bucs' defensive front is no joke, and they will undoubtedly try to exploit any weakness on the Falcons' offensive line, especially with a rookie quarterback under center. The ability of the offensive line to establish the run game and provide a clean pocket for Penix Jr. will be absolutely critical to the team's success in Week 1 and throughout the season. This trade is a high-stakes gamble. On one hand, the Falcons are bringing in a young player with some NFL experience at the exact position of need, and they're doing it for a minimal cost. If Jerrell can step in and perform admirably, providing solid protection and helping to open up running lanes, then this trade will be hailed as a stroke of genius, a testament to the front office's ability to react quickly and effectively to adversity. He could be the missing piece that stabilizes the offensive line and allows the entire offense to flourish. On the other hand, Jerrell is still a rookie, albeit one with a few games under his belt. He's coming into a completely new system, with new teammates just days before the season opener. The learning curve will be steep, and the pressure will be immense. If he struggles, if he allows too many pressures or sacks, then this trade could be seen as a desperate and ultimately ineffective attempt to fix a problem that runs deeper than just one player. The consequences of poor offensive line play, especially for a young quarterback, can be devastating, leading to turnovers, stalled drives, and a lack of confidence. So, as we gear up for Sunday's divisional clash, every Falcons fan will be watching. Michael Jerrell with bated breath. This isn't just about one player. It's about the entire offensive line, the protection of Michael Penix Jr., and the Falcons' ability to navigate the treacherous waters of an NFL season. This trade, born out of necessity, could very well define the early trajectory of the 2025 Atlanta Falcons. It's a move that speaks volumes about the team's commitment to winning now, even if it means taking a calculated risk just days before kickoff. What are your thoughts on this last-minute trade? Do you think the Falcons made the right move to shore up their offensive line, or are you concerned about bringing in an unproven player so close to the season? Let us know in the comments below, and don't forget to hit that like button if you're ready for some Falcons football no matter how wild the offseason has been.